Today we've got a fucking different backdrop here. We thought we were going to do it our style.
We're in Bali.
We're in Bali. No, we thought we would actually do it more of a casual setup. This is something that we would do and hang out. And so we decided to even do a podcast like this. And we've got tea. We're going to have our tea. And yeah, let's start our chat.
Yes.
We're going to talk about, we have kids.
Yep.
And you know, we consider a lot of different topics because we do have kids, and growing up in this time and age, things have shifted and changed a lot, and a big thing in that is education. What do you recommend?
Yes, I think education is a very good topic to talk about. In saying that, only yesterday, Jessie, my wife, mentioned to me, yeah, I'd love one. No sugar, please. I mentioned, Jessie mentioned to me something about, it must have been something on the news she saw about talking about adding in an extra year of schooling, or in the schooling system. So starting prep, I think it was like a year earlier.
Oh, Jesus.
And I thought to myself straight away, don't they do enough schooling already?
Yeah. And what was that year for anyway?
To be honest, I don't know. The first thing that came to my head was, are they trying to make up for lost time over the COVID pandemic?
Oh, okay.
That's the first thing that came to my head.
Yeah.
But I thought to myself, I don't know, like, how enjoyable was school for me?
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, doing an extra year of schooling, I couldn't think of anything worse, really.
So hold on.
Myself.
Are they actually saying that to start kids even younger? So it's not later on.
No, it was something to do with like starting, say, pre-prep, so like a kindergarten.
But we do pre-prep already. So when do they want them to start?
To be honest, I don't know. It sounds like a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like bullshit.
Do you know? I used to looking back, like my dad was so big on, you know, being educated and make sure you, you know, you go to uni and do all that stuff. And, you know, I was quite a clever kid. I was really clever. And I studied and stuff. And, as I got towards my final years, it didn't feel right? It didn't feel right. And I sort of didn't go down that path of mainstream education. So I didn't end up going to uni and finishing uni and stuff. And, you know, I look back and I have no regrets because, shit, dude, now I realize that unless you are wanting to be an engineer, right, or a doctor, or something on that level,
a profession that
needs a freedom certificate,
you need
bro. Yes,
to
right.
enter these professions.
I don't know why so many kids go down that path and have a massive debt, right? And then they learn how to do the job, but they don't ever learn how to become the boss. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So you are taught the trade. Even if you're a doctor, you're learning a trade, right? And that's fine, you need it for that. But not everything needs for you to learn the trade, because then you get stuck there, right? So a lot of people work under someone for the rest of their life, and it's a job, yeah? And just because, you know, they can say, I went to uni and I did this and I did that, but the more I see life now, it's like, you don't need that in every aspect of life. You don't. So many different businesses come from actual hands-on, you know, sitting down, starting from scratch. Okay, let me open a business account. What do I need? What is my income? You know, all those practical tools. I know for a fact that Leah started her business. She's making good money and she's saved so much. And I know she doesn't have a HECS debt. Yeah,
there's no university course for what Leah does.
Absolutely. It's a business course.
Passion too for her, right?
Yeah.
So she's finding her career through her passion instead of something that's probably in different families, different cultures. And what I would find is probably cultures or areas of the world that come from more of a poverty You know what I mean? Poverty.
Where like money
driven.
is a massive factor, so they want you to
So
get
they want your breakthrough. They want your, you know. So the family or the parents could be pushing their children to, you know, become an accountant, a lawyer, a doctor, or some sort of professional profession.
That I get.
Right? But a lot of the times, maybe the kids don't want to do that. So what you have to think is this as well. Like, you go to school for 13 years of your life, so you do prep to year 12, right? Now, just reflecting on my schooling years, I can't imagine if you have a class full of 20 kids, that 90% of those kids enjoy
Maths.
those 13 years. Or enjoy rocking up to school to do the same thing day in, day out, right?
Yeah.
Then they go to university for 4 to 6 years. And then they're doing 30 to 40 years in the workforce in their career. Then their life's finished.
Yeah.
So, did you have any control, or is there any passion involved in that?
No.
For some, but for some there is. Like,
That's their thing. That's what I'm saying though. Not putting this system down for the people that fit the system. No problem.
But the system should be more broad and flexible to suit.
I think it should be flexible, right? Because think about it this way: how many people have been pushed into an occupation like doctor or an engineer? I know, right? In order to make their parents happy, in order to keep their family name, in order to make money to look after the family. But man, you know, I just saw a podcast, I think it was yesterday, that last year 400 doctors who have access to medication and other professional people, they took their own life, right? So I'm like, I don't feel like the education system that was made back in Whoop Whoop is now sustaining what's happening, Because a lot of jobs, think about it this way, the people that were very rigid and they had that typical setup of education and they got the job and blah, 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 when this so-called COVID and all that stuff broke up, how many jobs were like destroyed because they didn't know how to adapt? They did not know anything other than the system. So they did not know how to then become a person that works for someone, how to then become someone who grows their own business.
They struggled to pivot and adjust.
Because the system made them a worker.
Gave them the recipe.
Absolutely. It was catered for you to be.
And it was, you do it this way, this way, it's done.
Yeah. And the other thing too is in school, how, like think about it, right? The basics for maths, sciences, English, and it's pretty much structured around that. And then elective subjects are like your art and wood tech or whatever you want to do. But everybody gets marked on those fundamentals, right? Now, someone who's really creative, wants to dance, wants to paint, wants to create, is not going to fucking be the same as a physicist. But we're marked that way. It's like an athlete and a mathematician being graded under the same rules. It doesn't make sense. And that's where I reckon, like, the more that I have learned, and I've sort of not fallen into that thing myself, I had to break it though. Like, my dad was pissed off at me. Like, it took many years for my dad to go, I don't think he's still sort of good with it completely, for me to not go to school. Because I was like, no, I don't want to do it that way. Right? And people, even some friends have gone, oh my God, you're so clever. Why didn't you finish school? You're silly. And I was like, really? Am I silly though? Do you know what I mean? So there's still something attached to it. If you get a certificate, it means, yeah, but they got debt and they're having a job and then whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, the system doesn't work.
Yeah, look, I think times have definitely changed. Entrepreneurship is a lot different today to what it would have been, 20, 30, 40 years ago. People now, with internet, with social media, there's a lot more options out there for you, a lot more ways to make money, and maybe in more enjoyable ways as well for people.
Look at your story.
Yeah, well, 100%. Like, what did I even do at school, really?
Exactly.
I ended up being in I went to a private school from prep to year 9. It was a private school run by priests.
Mm-hmm.
It was an Orthodox school. If you said fuck, you're gonna go repent your sins.
Oh.
Like that's how it was, right?
We'd be in trouble.
yeah, big trouble. So by the time I got to the end of year 9, every report was the same. Every parent-teacher interview. Well, Joseph is a really good student. He's a very smart, bright boy when he applies himself, but he rarely applies himself. Well, if you people have been saying that for the last 3 or 4 years,
What are
fucking
you
help
gonna offer
me
me?
apply
Yeah,
myself.
what are you gonna offer me
Right,
that sparks that friggin' interest?
Exactly. So there's,
Give me something.
Yeah, so you know,
Yeah.
I rarely apply
Yeah,
myself.
why?
So why would I rarely apply myself? Anyway, so basically got to the point where they told my father, we don't have enough to cater for him here. This is a educational school where it's just book smarts to university. That's it. Now my sister stayed there from prep to year 12, killed it, got
Smashed
90 something enter, went to Melbourne Uni.
Yeah.
And
That's
she
her
said,
thing.
Bobs, I remember her
That was her thing.
like studying every night,
Yeah.
walking to her bedroom, and she had sticky notes in the corner of her room
Wow.
saying, stop reading the sticky note, head back down. Like
Wow.
she was on it, right?
Yeah.
On it.
Yeah.
She
thrived
obviously
in that
thrived.
system.
She thrived. It was exciting for her,
Yeah.
right? So then I went to a more hands-on school. I went to Umemering College, right? Founding Gate campus, which was year 10, and there was more hands-on things there to do, but also wasn't as strict. So then start wagging school, you know, just going to school but not really being at school. And then it wasn't until really VCAL, when VCAL came along, I thought I don't have to do VCE, because I started thinking to myself, how am I going to get through VCE? I can't sit in the classroom.
Yeah.
I can't sit for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's it, I'm bored.
Yeah.
I need to stimulate myself, I
Yeah.
need to get out of this room.
Yeah.
So how am I meant to go to VCE? Then VCAL come along, and I went to the senior campus, which was Helen High.
Yeah.
And it was the 11 year 12,
Yeah.
right? And they also had, I was a very athletic kid since a young age, playing basketball, soccer and whatnot. So they had a sports academy that you could fall into that system. You were kind of separate from the rest
Yeah.
of school.
Yeah.
So I went through there as a basketball, in the basketball academy, and I could wear my tracksuit pants every day. Didn't have to wear
Uniform and stuff.
I could wear my trackies. My uniform was totally different.
Yeah.
My curriculum was different.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I started to enjoy school again, right? But then after year 11, I wanted to go and try work, so I wanted to get a workforce. I remember leaving year 11, doing about 8 months of a plumbing apprenticeship, and didn't have a good experience with that, mainly because of the people I was surrounded by, people I was working with, right?
Yeah.
People I was working with drug addicts. I remember I was 16 or 17 at the time, and the qualified bloke I was working with, every Friday was payday, we'd go and he'd buy heroin, right?
Wow.
And be shooting up in front of me in the work unit.
Wow.
And I came from, athletic,
Yeah.
fit, you know what I mean, to then
Looking
seeing
at
this.
that. Yeah.
And then him borrowing money off the first year apprentice every week because he had no money to eat and
Wow.
whatnot. And I thought, okay, then he kind of disappeared. Another bloke came in, alcoholic and bonghead.
Wow.
In the work unit, same thing. So I thought, is this trade life?
Yeah.
I was still narrow-minded.
Yeah.
It was just because you're still learning. So it's whatever you're exposed to.
Yeah.
You think that's it. You don't think a little bit for yourself, like, I can go try another country.
Something
There's
else. Yeah.
20
Yeah.
companies
Yeah.
out there,
Yeah.
whatnot, right?
Yeah.
So then I got put off that, and I'm like, nah, I'm going to go back to school. Actually, I wanted to become a police officer. I wanted to go to Victoria Police because I was looking for a career where it wasn't the same every day.
And it was challenging. Yeah.
I
You
wanted
needed
something challenging.
to stimulate you.
I wanted to be a soggy, like in the SWAT team, right?
Yeah.
So I thought, all right, what's something I had dreams to go to the army when I was in high school, and I didn't go because at the time people around me weren't too fond of it, and I listened. I didn't want to upset people, so I listened.
in Sweden, right? It's expanded, right? So it's a very different space. I mean, even for you to break apart from what was normal, which is like you go to school, you get a job, you work, you save up for retirement, and you retire, right? It's like you and me both not knowing broke that cycle, because we're both like, I don't like that system.
Yeah, it doesn't sit well.
Didn't sit well with you,
No.
right? And think about it, you probably got so many more valuable lessons by trying this, seeing that no thank you, yes I will, maybe this, that. I did the same, right? To the point where we're now saying how we love what we do.
100%. I feel like that's when the real learning happened. I think if you drop me anywhere in any part of the world now, I'll make it work.
Same, man.
You know what I mean?
And you know, this is why we wanted to make this video too, because yes, we are taught subjects at school, but mate, we are not taught how to have difficult conversations in schools. We're not taught how to handle emotional issues and stress.
Emotional bullying or stress.
Right? We don't know how to speak our truth, how to even ask for a raise, how to put forward your value. We don't know how to come up with original ideas and not feel like threatened because, you know, 50 other people are doing something different. Like, I think like, yes, there's been amazing growth and so much so, but I think also coming back to fundamentals, man, if I, like with my kids, what I did is, yes, I still sent them to the normal school system, but at home, I did a different kind of education too. I was always on top of meditation, mindset practices, confidence building, right? It's huge, man, because you can be very smart, but if I can bully you, you're fucked. If I can manipulate you, if I can overshadow you.
100%. Imagine how many kids out there
enjoy
the curriculum of school,
but
get bullied and therefore have anxiety, don't want to go to school, don't want to learn.
That's right, and that does not change in the workplace, people. This is the whole thing.
It's the same thing.
Right? How many people? Okay, you tell me something.
This happens to
okay, you just told me those two people had a job, but they were going and, you know, escaping life, right?
Exactly.
You think that doesn't happen to a doctor or some lawyer or a high, you know?
Of course it does.
Of course 100%. It does. And that's the thing, man, because we're missing a massive part of education, which is growing that self first. We are so fucking conditioning our kids to compete in grade 1 and grade 2. Like, did you come first? Did you come, you know, did you do math and whatever? But you know what, man? That kid is not learning to first become who he or she is, right? First, stable ground, like, who am I? I feel confident in my body. I feel comfortable to say no to the teacher. I can speak, you know, make eye contact. I don't feel intimidated. That shit has to be a part of the schooling system too, right? Because so what if your son and daughter is a doctor? They're fucking shooting up. So what? So what, man? That's not success.
Do you find a difference between private schools and public schools? And
yeah, I do.
Benefit and
I'll tell you the pros and cons. The pros and cons is that you get more exposure to different things, right? And obviously,
because this is a question that my wife and I speak about a lot.
Just a what?
Because I went, obviously, like I said, to a private school from 1999, and then I went to public school, so I've seen both.
Yeah, I've done both too.
Right? And the one thing I can agree on, or the one thing I always answer back with, is the environment. I remember being in the private school, and say there's 20 kids in there. If I'm trying to muck around and piss fart around in class, you'd have 18 or 17 other kids at least telling you to shush. Trying to learn. But when I went to the public school and the whole environment spoke to the teacher with disrespect, then you had two people in the classroom that was trying to learn.
You are absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, spot on. So you're right, because the environment plays a massive part.
I don't think you're going to be a smarter person coming out of this school.
No, it's just a supporting environment or not.
You to apply yourself differently.
Yes, like, you know, sometimes you can be a really smart person and it doesn't matter what, you'll always learn, but you might not feel very confident in going to that environment. You feel scared or nervous or whatever, right? Whereas here, you know, it is almost like a collective, everybody knows the standards, right? And so the teachers and the parents and everybody sort of works within that. And I think that's why I like it. And they also get exposed to a little bit more of things, right? Like experiences and stuff. And so I do like that. But am I like, oh, if the situation comes, like, oh my God, I'm not. No. All my kids have experienced that.
If you were a person that financially couldn't support a private education, it's not really the worst thing, right? It's like you're not taking anything away from your kid, really. If your kid is going to want to be through the education system, they're going to do it.
Yeah, and you know what? They can be bullied in a private school anyway, and you might have to take them out of that, because there could be some people that go, oh, you know, bullying can be different. Could be like, oh, my parents make this much, how, you know, it could be all on that stuff, right? It could be status bullying, it could be financial stuff. So, you know, it can come in anyway. But this is what I'm saying though. When in schooling systems you get taught resilience, when in schooling systems you get taught about compassion and courage, when none of that.
And a lot of the times when you stand up for yourself against bullying, you get in trouble too. Don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
You get in trouble too, so resilience is definitely not there. But you know, like something I was talking to my father-in-law about as well, is like, we had a class called ASX 200.
Okay, what the hell?
That's what I mean, right?
What is that?
When I explained it to him, he was like, oh, I wish I had that class.
What is it?
Today, I wish I had, if I was at the maturity levels that I am today, it's Australian Stock Exchange. Oh. So it's teaching you how to trade shares, right? But picture this.
Hold on, what school was this at?
This was at the Year 10, you remembering Fountain Gate campus. But I just want to explain something here, is like, what a useless class to teach a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Because how the fuck at 15
am
I going to be mature enough to give a shit about that? Today, at 31 years old.
Different, yeah.
But I walked into this classroom and had computers.
Okay, but an idea, right? You look at it this way. So yes, that was too far stretched.
Yeah.
But what about a class where you introduce them to money in a way where they're taught to invest money, right? Where they get excited about, okay, you invest this, at the end of it you get that. That's a bit of a, you know, a carrot thrown at them, right? Because it could be like I did with Aaliyah. It's like, okay, let's start you investing, and you can play around with it and see, you know, and you can learn while you're doing it. I think even terminology with money, right? We are taught to be workers, have jobs. Like, you know, I correct her all the time. Because when I grow up, my job, okay, you're not going to have a job. You know, let's not call it a job, because you're already setting very, very different mindset if you consider that you're going to have a job. It already implies you're going to work for someone, or you're going to work for money. Even that, right? How many people? Okay, another topic. How many kids are in debt, man? Paying off their fucking Gucci bag. Hold on, Gucci bag, right? Because they will work to pay off something in credit. Bro, that's financial education 101.
Yeah, I think a big thing that should be a subject is money habits.
That's it.
Right?
Money, terminology, and money habits. If a teacher walked in when I was 16, 17 years old and said, all right, who here likes motorsport? Who likes racing cars? Yeah.
Who's a petrol head?
You'd be like,
I said, yeah, me.
Yeah.
Okay, what if I showed you a way on creating that much passive income, you could race anywhere around the world?
Yeah.
And
by this age.
Yeah, by this age, and you don't have to work every day.
That's the carrot.
Then I'd be like,
how can I
what do you
that?
mean? So I can do stuff I enjoy doing.
Exactly.
And I don't have to work hard for it.
Exactly.
That'll be passive income.
In the meantime, it's also teaching you how to be patient and wait. Right? So it's giving you good money habits. Right? And then that's what I'm saying. So I think, you know, those things, how clever that all us people that are, you know, the mass, we're not taught money habits, bro. You know what? Even in our families, don't talk about money. Don't talk about money. Don't, you know, it's rude to talk about money, especially for females. They're never allowed to just have an input in like I think we should invest in this. Like, it's not even normal, right? But now I'm like, no, like, you're really disempowering a generation or even like a gender if you do not teach them about money. Because think about it this way, the people, and it's sad to say, the people that hold money as value and they have access to it, they have power. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you know, think about it. Like, and all of us are taught to work. So what's all the system does is work. So I think, you know, when looking back at the school system, I'm glad I sort of didn't do it the normal way, and I've learned so much. And now, guess what? It's never too late. I'm 44, and I'm fucking doing what I love. And I loved being a mum, and I did that.
Yeah.
And then I'm doing this, and it's like I wouldn't change anything. It's never too late. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't go, oh, I wish I finished and did it that way. I don't think that. You know?
Yeah, 100%. No, I think definitely what it proves is that, yeah, that whole idea of needing to go to uni and do this and be that, because if you don't be this and do that, you're going to have nothing at the end of it. There's a load of shit.
Yep.
You can start off working the production line in a factory, right?
Have good money habits.
Good money habits, progression, and you keep educating yourself. Doesn't mean in school you can educate yourself reading a book every day.
Mate, look at the access they have now.
As long as you're continuing to learn and enhance yourself, okay, that along with good money habits, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll attain whatever you desire.
And you're doing something you love, friend.
100%, you're enjoying the process because it's not the same boring thing that you know. You already know the journey. You know what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? No, you do it your way.
And you're doing something you love. It's never work.
100%.
It's never work.
It's never work.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So what would you say to parents that are in that space of like their kids might want to do it a different way, but they're so used to the old school way? What would you say?
Don't have anxiety as a parent, okay, that your child is going to make the wrong decision when it comes to education or their career or what they want to do for it. Don't think because they're not going to be some blue chip profession, right, that they're not going to be able to enjoy the life or set themselves up or be successful. Because at the end of the day, success is a very important thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean how much money you earn all the time.
Yeah.
Right? You can earn $1 million and be a prick.
Yeah.
You're not
And be depressed and
you're not
sad.
successful in my eyes.
No, and be grumpy and mean.
If you're miserable and make everyone else miserable.
Yeah.
Right? So I think parents to actually take a step back, enjoy the process of seeing their kids grow up and make their own decisions. Okay? And just trust. Have trust in the process.
And allow the process.
Allow the process to happen. Have trust.
Yeah.
Because there's not a straight line to this. There's not one path.
Yeah. Agreed.
Cool.
Right. Ding.
Ding.
Alright guys, thanks. I hope you loved that conversation. Something that's quite deep for us because we do have kids and we are going through that. So
we're passionate about it.
Yeah, we're passionate about it. Until next time, what would you like them to do? Subscribe? What else?
Again, subscribe guys. Questions. Any topics you want us to talk about?
Share.
And even feel free to DM.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, reach out if you want to chat about anything.
Yep, absolutely.
Cool.
Right, yep. Until next time, cheers.